Melissa here, and tonight is an impromptu video. I wasn't going to film tonight, and my husband was like, why don't you film? And I sat there and I was like, I don't want to do my hair, and I don't feel like doing my makeup. My face is broken out. My nail polish is chipped off here. I just wasn't going to do it because I just didn't feel like I could get pulled together well enough to be presentable enough on camera. And then I thought, this is exactly what I want to talk about. And so I just decided that I got out of the shower, put my hair up. I did put a smidge of makeup on, didn't fix the nails. I don't even know if it's the same shirt I was wearing in the last video, but if it is, it's clean. And you probably know by now that the title of this video is Mommy Wars. And I've been really fired up the last 2 days over the whole mommy war category, topic, issue, whatever you want to call it. You know, if you watch any type of a news channel, it comes up here and there, and women working versus not working, or this and that. And basically what it is, just a bunch of judgmental women running around telling other women that they're not doing it right. And the thing that really got this going for me, which it wasn't even a mommy war thing, but it turned into it, was Kim Kardashian posted a picture on Facebook of her sunbathing, and she was laying there on her stomach, and she had no top on, but she was on her stomach, and she had a bottom on, and there was a woman next to her that was pregnant sunbathing, and she just hashtagged it Lady Lovely Lumps, I think, something like that, which was kind of cute. And I was like, oh, that's kind of cute, you know. Kim's got her a cute little pooper. She's got a nice body. I mean, she's got a nice butt. And the woman who was pregnant, I was like, oh, that's kind of cute. And I really just needed some mind candy for a while. It was the same day that the Malaysian flight got shot down, and I was watching the coverage of that all day, and, you know, so that was heavy on my mind. And I'm like, I need a break. I need some mind candy. And I will say this, though. This is kind of a more, if you have children watching, children, teenagers, I don't know. This is a little bit more of an adult topic video, so if you want to shield them from that, I would say go ahead and do that. Just kind of like putting that warning out there, because if I'm watching certain videos, I would want to know. But if not, that's okay too. So, and I was like, I've been thinking about this for the past couple days, because I really wanted to let it go, and then it just kept wearing me out. And then I was like, I tweeted about it. I was like, I'm gonna do a rant video. I'm gonna put it out there. And you're like, okay, well, let's get on with it. Stop talking about it. Get on with it. I'm doing it, okay? Stop pressuring me. I'm there. I'm getting there. Okay, so Kim Kardashian, cute picture, Lady Lovely Lumps. And I never normally do this, but I started looking at the comments. Big mistake. Big, huge, huge, huge mistake. And I'm looking at these horrible, hateful, nasty comments. And this is a big part of what I don't like about Facebook. I don't like getting involved in all the drama and all the this, that, and the other, and back and forth. And I was reading this stuff, and I'm like, what is wrong with people? And by people, I guess I would say mostly women. And I'm one of those. I'm a woman. Yeah, newsflash. No. And don't get me wrong, okay? This video is not going to be a Kumbaya video, like, oh, let's all get together and love each other, and can't we all just get along, and let's sing Kumbaya by a campfire, and all's right with the world. That's not what I'm saying. But I will say that I am so over the mommy wars. I am so over judgmental women deciding that however they're doing it is the right way, and every other way that any other mommy is doing it is just wrong. Or, God forbid, a woman decides that she doesn't want children, being judged for that. Like, it was a whole big deal, I guess. Candace Cameron. Is it Candace Cameron? Cameron. What the hell is her name? Okay, so no, now that I have it figured out, it's Cameron Diaz. And the reason why I have it mixed up is because Candace Cameron is under attack this week because she's decided to do a 5-day cleanse, and people just, you know, went after her for that. And I don't normally respond to these kind of comments on Facebook. I don't even normally look at them, and so I don't know what my deal was that day. I just felt like it. So I start reading after these comments that these women are posting on the Kim Kardashian picture. And I'm just like, what the heck is going on? I mean, such hate, so hateful. And so I responded to a few, and just to give you some examples, the first one said something like, oh, that's nice, Kim. There's people dying on airplanes and in Gaza, and you're posting this stuff on Facebook. And I was like, really? That's nice. People dying, and you're sitting here scrolling through Facebook like I am commenting, really? And then another one talked about, oh, she's just not a good role model, and for her to be laying out like that. And I mean, like, can we get it in check? She was laying on her tummy, and I've laid on my stomach bathing out in the sun before, and I've released, you know, the straps so my back didn't have tan lines. I don't know if she had a bathing suit on underneath, but she had a towel or whatever, and she had her bikini bottom on. I just, so what? So somebody said, it must be nice. I'm a mom and I'm home 24/7 with my child because I can't afford a nanny, and it's a good thing I can't because they'd probably be more attached to the nanny than me anyway. And I looked at that too, and of course I responded to that too, because I just felt like I needed to have my 2 cents in that day, just like in this video. I guess I'm getting my 2 cents in there like everybody else does. And I responded with, you know, okay, so first of all, how do you know that North, her daughter, is not out of the picture in a pack and play taking a nap? I mean, why is the assumption that she's not there with her kid? Maybe the baby's with Kanye. But no, I said, you know, how do you know that she's not in a pack and play taking a nap? And she's like, how do you know she is? We all know she has nannies. And I'm like, and I was just, in my mind, I'm like, oh, that's mature. But the point is just such, everyone's ready to pounce on her for several different things. That's not mother-like. Oh, you're a wife now, cover up. You're a mom. Where's your baby? Where's this? Where's that? Oh, there's people dying. What? What is going on? Why? And there are so many different there's so many different avenues I really want to jump off in regards to this, as far as, you know, if she does have a nanny and she's working or taking a break and needs me time, and that's what the other lady said, you know, with her whole 24/7 comment. And I responded, I'm like, I stay at home with my daughter. I'm a stay home 24/7, and I'm picky about who I leave my children with as well. My kids only ever stay with their nana or their aunt, but yet I will take me time for my mental health. I think that I'm a better parent if I have that break every now and then mentally, and I'm not going to feel guilty about making me time. That way I'm not bitter and resentful. And I did say that as a shot a little bit, because her comment about, oh, wow, must be nice, you know, I have to stay home 24/7. She sounds bitter and resentful that she has to stay home and raise her child. But she makes that choice. And I guess that's what leads me back to all of this, is you make a choice. And I don't understand why we pounce on each other for those choices. If your child is not being harmed or in danger or being left in hot cars to die, or being sexually trafficked or being physically abused, why is your way better than somebody else's? And let me give you some examples, and I'll tell you right now, get ready to be mad, get ready to put thumbs down, get ready to write your comments in the comment section, and I can handle it. My husband and I raise our children differently than a lot of our friends and family do. And by that I mean, we cuss in front of our kids. I don't monitor my mouth in front. I do it, you know what's funny? I monitor my mouth on YouTube, but I don't do it in front of my kids. Because my kids have learned that's a mommy and daddy word, and that's not appropriate for you to say. And I mean, and it's used in proper context and whatnot, but I don't need your permission or approval to speak the way I speak in my home. We don't baby-proof our house. I don't baby-proof because I have a small home and I'm home 24/7. If I was a working mama, I might. If you baby-proof, that's great. If you decide not to swear in front of your kids, that's great. From the time my daughter was 3 months old, if she dropped a pacifier on the floor in a public store, guess what? I picked it up, I licked it in my own mouth and put it in her mouth. And I've not been a germ freak since about 3 months. I'm not saying I'm nasty. We wash hands. I will say that. My girls, you ask them, did you wash your hands after you went to the bathroom? You wash your hands when you come in the house. But as far as like, oh, put hand sanitizer on before you touch my child, every time you touch my child, I don't do that. And guess what? My baby is she's had one ear infection. She's almost 3, has only had one ear infection, and has only been on antibiotics one time. And that's because my husband and I believe in building, it takes dirt to build a strong immune system. Not at first, but from about 3 months on, you know, we're not freaks about it. If that's not the way that you do it, that's okay. I didn't breastfeed. You wanna know why? Because maybe it's too much information. I am so sensitive in that area. I wasn't willing to go through the discomfort and pain and agony of it. You call it selfish, but when I'm looking at it personally, I know that if I am that miserable and unhappy and in pain, how am I being a better mom at that point? And I truly believe that I wasn't personally breastfed, and formulas are great these days, and that's awesome. So that was my decision not to do it. I didn't even try it once because I knew what a nightmare it was going to be. And again, I don't need your approval for it. And I'm not trying to be, you know, I know it's probably coming across like rare, and I'm not trying to be that way, but I'm so frustrated with this whole entire topic of, you know, oh, you work, you don't work. Oh, you don't work, but you don't spend every living second teaching your children colors and numbers and reading them books. And I guess I don't understand how it got to this point. And this genuinely is the reason why I have more male friends than female friends. Because I just can't deal with the judgment and with the looking down upon, because, you know, I may not do it as perfectly or as well or on the same page as the majority of other people may do it. And I'm outspoken about it. If someone asks me, I'm not going to pretend that I do. I'll speak in a respectful manner about it, and I'll give you my honest opinion. But that also goes back to, don't ask me a question and don't ask for my opinion if you don't want me to be honest and tell you the truth and how I feel. And that's just a whole nother, I mean, that's a whole nother video, I guess. And dealing with all of these things and thinking about all of these things while you're raising girls is another battle in itself. You know, I'm looking at all of this hateful speak and hateful things towards women, and some of you may be saying, well, you put yourself out there in the public, and like Kim Kardashian does, and even people have said that about me. Oh, you make videos, you put yourself out there in the public. So basically that you deserve whatever you get. No, I don't. Absolutely, I deserve for you to give your opinions and whatnot, but for you to be hateful and ugly, that's like me saying to you who don't make videos and who believe that, because you went to the grocery store today and bought some milk, I guess if whatever Joe Schmo or Jane Schmo comes up to you and says, I hate your lipstick and your sweater's ugly too, I guess you deserve that because you decided to leave your house today. I mean, do you see kind of where I'm going with that? Like, how is that thinking? Whatever. Of course you can give your opinions and say that, but why does everyone have to be so hateful and just be like, oh, she's a horrible person because of this? I don't care if she has fake boobs. I don't care if she got butt injections. I don't care. And I don't understand why it makes so many other people. And part of me is like, okay, is it a maturity issue? Is it, you know, oh, it's young people saying this? And I don't think it is. I think part of it's maturity, but then I think there's people even older than I am or my age who kind of feel the same way and say the same things. And then I have to fall back on, well, I guess, and I say this to my girls and I say this in general, we are not all equally equipped to deal with what the world hands us. And by that I mean we're not all raised the same, with the same beliefs and values, and with the same parents who teach you to be kind and teach you to not be judgmental and teach you to look at the world in different ways other than one way. And raising girls, 4 girls, I have 4 girls. I love them all the same. 3 of them are my husband's from a previous marriage. So they're my step girls, and then my husband and I have a 2-year-old on our own, but I really do love them all the same, and that's because I had a stepmother growing up, you know, and I knew that I wouldn't treat my girls the way that I was treated. So I'm thankful for that experience. Again, another video. The point is, looking at things like this and raising girls and trying to have them be well-rounded, kind human beings who are not judgmental, but yet who are not naive and who are not pushovers. It makes you think a lot. It really does. And I had a conversation with our oldest, Libby, who's 12. She had gotten into it with some girl on the soccer team about something, and she was telling me about it, and then she followed it up with, oh yeah, like, and she was telling, not that she said this to the girl, but she was telling me, she's like, really, her mom works the night shift at McDonald's, and so she has to work midnights at McDonald's, and Libby said it in a way that was like knocking her, and like the girl should be ashamed that her mother worked at McDonald's or her mother worked midnights, and that bothered me a bit, and I did address it, and I was like, whoa, 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 whoa. I said, your daddy works midnights because my husband's a police officer, and he works midnights. He works 10:30 at night to 7 in the morning, and although I guess society would say that being a police officer is a little bit more up there than being whatever position you are at McDonald's, you know, I stopped there and I said, her mother goes to work every day, and unfortunately nobody picks the midnight shift, but she works it to provide for her child, and maybe that's just what they need to do right now for their family. And to make her stop and think about that so that she realizes what she's saying, and just so she realizes kind of the judgment that she's putting out there, I think that's important. And I'll say this too, it's a battle, and by that, I mentioned to you guys before that my husband has an ex-wife, and they live very differently than we do as far as financially, ethics, morals, values. It's very, very polar opposites the way we raise the girls, which also is very, I'm sure, very taxing on them, and that's another video as well. So that's something that we've had to deal with, but I really just kind of wanted to jump on here and give my own 2 cents, and I feel like we are so ding-dang judgmental of one another, whether it's working moms or not, or wives. Oh, you're a mother now, and you're a wife now, and my husband often tells me, he's like, I wish you would do videos and a channel on your views as a wife. Because much like our views on parenting, I'm pretty sure that my views on being a wife are probably not mainstream either. And I don't do those videos because what I'm talking about here, I don't want the judgment. I don't want the judgment because I don't want to deal with it. If I thought I could get on here and say, hey, this is what I feel, and you tell me how you feel, and we'll have a grown-up, adult, mature discussion about it. If I thought that was possible, man, I would talk about everything and anything. But that's the main reason why I avoid politics and religion and certain other hot button topics. But I'll say this, I believe that your role as a wife and a mother can be very different while doing them simultaneously. And that's just how I feel. So that's it. I don't know. I really just needed to ramble just to get it off my chest. I'm just so tired of us beating each other down. I really am. And I'll say this, when I was younger, early 20s, I did the same thing. If you told me when I was in my early 20s and I was a police officer and working extra jobs and I was pulling 70 to 90 hour work weeks, that I would ever quit that I would ever not be working and be a full-time stay-at-home mom, I'd be like, no way, I'll be working full-time, I'll have a baby, I'll just work midnights, and I'll just go without sleep, and then life happened. I had to retire, I took a medical pension, and that might be something I'll talk about later too. I haven't decided yet, because I don't want people to hold it against me, see? But I am a full-time stay-at-home mom, I have a pension, so I get money from my job, and my husband works, and that's what works for our family. I wouldn't have it any other way. Sometimes I look at that as a blessing in disguise. That I'm blessed. I'm lucky. I get to stay at home. I get to raise my baby. I get to see everything that happens. And I don't say that to rub it in anybody else's face that has to work. But that's just the way it is. I probably could get another job and make up the difference and have a bigger house and a better house. And we've had to deal with, and again, I'm going to start addressing this in other videos because I've been asked to and because I think it's important. you know, we've had to deal with my husband's ex-wife being, you know, being angry at us because I don't work, which is none of her business at all. But, you know, that whole, oh, Melissa should be working, and, well, why? I mean, because, and then come to find out, you know, she's always wanted to be a stay-at-home mom. Well, that's fine. I mean, she could be, but they live a very different lifestyle, you know. We live in a home that's $150,000. They live in a $400,000 home. And there's nothing wrong with that, but you make those choices. You want to go to work and pay those bills and be in that kind of house and live that kind of life. That's fine. That's acceptable. But you cannot sit there while you make those choices for yourself and judge somebody else because they make different choices. And, or I guess you could, because it goes on all the time, but it's ridiculous. And it's childish, and what else can I say? What else can I say? So, yeah, that's it. Impromptu video. Just, I hate the mommy wars. I wish we would all support each other a little bit more. And by that, you know, just to wrap up one more time, having kids later in life, I've had the luxury of watching things that my friends and family do and going, I am not doing that with my kid. I'm not doing it. And because I'll just screw my kid up in a whole different special way. Like, I'm obviously never going to be perfect. None of us are. So, but I have absolutely watched, and I'm not doing things that I hated, and it's working out. I think everybody, not everybody, I always hear a lot of women say, and I heard it before I had kids, because I didn't have kids till I was 35. And when I would question things, not in a judgmental way, but like I genuinely wanted to know, because I knew I'd have kids. But I'd see them do things, and the response was always, oh, it'll be different when you have kids. You'll understand when you have kids. And I'm going to tell you this right now. Everything that I thought before I had kids in regards to the way I was going to raise my children and what I would do and wouldn't do, everything except one aspect has been on point. Again, I'm screwing my kids up in my own special way, but I always knew that it would never be acceptable for my kids to talk crazy to me. I always knew that it would never be acceptable for my 2-year-old to scream at me and tell me no and call me names and not do what I told her to do within reason. And the only thing that hasn't held true are her eating habits. I was always like, oh, well, if you start them off early, and I did. I made all of her food. It was organic. And guess what? You know, my kid's favorite thing to eat right now is ramen noodles. And I'll be damned if I can get her to eat anything else. And it's just insanity. The child has the will of, I don't even know, because I haven't seen anybody have such will. But every other aspect of, oh, it'll be different, it hasn't been different. It's exactly what I thought it would be. Oh, because, and just putting, again, this is another hot button topic, and I'm not judging you. I don't believe that children belong in my bed, in my adult bed with my husband. I don't believe in the whole, you know, family bed thing. If you do, that's great. And I'm being genuine. I'm being serious. That's great if you do. And if that works for you and your family, good. But I knew, and my husband and I, we knew that would not work for us. That's our private space. Now, I'm not talking about if there's a thunderstorm or if they're sick. I mean, let's not, please don't twist this. I'm talking about just in a general, I always knew that they were not going to sleep in our bed. And I also always knew that bedtime was not going to be a battle. And I heard that too from family and friends. Oh, you just, you know, oh, because you just won't know. Guess what? From day one, when we got home from the hospital, and my mom was here with us for 6 weeks, and I genuinely wanted to hold her all the time. I wanted to hold Sophie all the time, and so did my mom. And I made the conscious effort because I was thinking in the long term what was going to be best for our needs and her needs and our family. And from day one or week one, you know, I would tell my mom, she's awake. We've held her for a while. She has her needs met. We need to put her down because she needs to put herself to sleep. And from that first week, that's what's happened. And Every night when she goes to bed, she knows it, because it's just been our routine from day one, and it's what we chose to do. So she just, hey, it's night time. It's 7, 8 o'clock at night. Get your blankie. It's night time. There's no fight. There's no battle, because she just knows that's what it is. And have there been a few nights here and there that, of course, the crying took place? Absolutely. And I would never let her cry. I remember going to the pediatrician when she was 3 months old, and she had some colic. And he said, she can cry it out for a good 20 minutes. And I panicked. I literally gasped. I was like, what? I said, she's 3 months old. She's not going to, I said, my baby's not going to cry for 20 minutes. It's not going to happen. And it wasn't because she was mad about going to sleep. She had colic. But the point is that with this whole routine, I mean, it's never, when I say she's cried it out a couple times, I'm talking about 5-10 minutes. And I know that's not the case with everybody. Everybody's child's different. The way they do it is different. My point is that I knew, and I had very set ways of how I wanted to raise children. And guess what? It's working out. Again, the only thing that's been different is the food. So, but a lot of those things I mentioned, I'm sure a lot of you are going, oh. But I'm asking you to please, like, just how you are possibly doing it opposite from I am, and I'm not judging you for it. Don't judge me for it. My baby's safe. She's healthy. She's funny. She interacts. She knows all of her body. I mean, like, she's not a genius. And I'll say that's the only thing that annoys me. I went to when we did our, 2.5 year checkup. And he's like, well, what does she know? I'm like, well, she knows, half her ABCs. She knows her numbers. She knows, all of her body parts, eyelashes, elbows, wrists, and wow, he's like, gosh, she's just so, what did she say? What did he say? It wasn't just knowledge, but socially. He goes, she's really socially advanced. And I was like, well, she's not a genius. Okay. I was like, that's great. I appreciate, because I always see these, I see these parents that are like, oh, well, my baby's this smart. No, the baby's not a genius. She's bright, but I mean, she's doing nothing more than I think, any other baby's capable of if, they were exposed to whatever things. So I don't even know how this is going to come across. But regardless of the way that it does, please keep in mind the reason that this video, I even did this, is stop being judgmental. Stop being hateful towards other women. If you're mad at some other mom because she's a stay-at-home mom, I don't know, make different decisions if it's within your willpower. And if it's not, then it's not. But it's not the other person's fault. And I wish we would support each other more. I think it's really hard raising kids and I think it's hard being a woman, okay? Can I just say that? We're emotional and we're hormonal and this, that, and the other. And it would just be nice to be able to lean on some other women without the judgment. And that's my whole point. I have 2 women in my life right now, Heather and Jeanette, and they have been staples, mainstays. They have been rocks for me for over 15 years. And because we can tell each other like, oh, you're doing that? That's dumb. I wouldn't do that. But if that's working out for you, that's cool. It's just, we just have that relationship where we can say that to each other. I mean, Heather is more protective of her girls than I am. But I don't think like, oh God, I can't believe it. No, her children are amazing. They're brilliant little girls. Actually, they actually really are like little geniuses. But that doesn't make me feel inferior as a mom. And I know that because she knows I do it differently. I know she's not judging me for it and not looking down upon me for it. So there's probably a lot of repetitive stuff in here. But please, ladies, please, just, let's support each other a little bit. Again, there's no kumbaya here. And leave whatever comments you want below about it. And if you don't like things I've done, I'm sorry. But I am absolutely 1000% secure in my decisions. So, not that I can't learn anything, but yeah, I don't know. Let's be respectful. All right, I'm done mumbling. No, I'm not drunk. Don't get cute. It's just been wearing me out for a couple days, and I'm passionate about it. So, are you? I don't know. Thanks so much for watching, guys, and I hope you'll watch again and not go away forever. All right, bye.